Hello, 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 hello. Hi, everyone. Yeah. Right. Welcome, everyone joining in. We're about to go live with myself and Temi. She
Hello.
should be joining very soon. Hi, Temi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing during lockdown?
I'm doing all right, actually, to be honest. You just get used to it. So
Okay.
another routine, isn't it? So,
Right. Good. So how's work for you? What's work for you at this particular time?
um,
Busy? Are you having to do a
yes,
lot?
yeah. Surprisingly, it is actually. Obviously, still setting work.
Uh,
Responding to a lot of emails from the kids. It feels like a bit of technical support at times. Thing to do.
connection. Looks connection is a bit funny. It's all right now. Sorry, I think I missed all of that. I didn't hear anything. I think
Oh,
the
it's
connection
all
was
right.
yeah.
Don't
Anyway,
worry.
okay. Well, no, we'll get acquainted during this live anyway. Welcome to everyone joining us. Please share this with everyone. Share this live with everyone. We are about to talk everything education and COVID-19 on
Mhm.
behalf of the OFNC, um, Overseas Fellowship of Nigerian Christians. We are here to give you as much information as we know on the information around education with regards to what's happening with us now. We've got some people saying hello to us. Hi, everyone. Please, if you're listening to
Hi,
us,
Tony.
give us a wave. Give us a wave. We are here live and direct. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm out here in East Surrey, Red Hill to be precise. Tell me where you joining us from.
I'm in Bolton. That's near Manchester.
Bolton,
West, yeah.
Manchester. Yes, the Mancunians. I'm a Manchester United fan, so I just have to put that on there.
I'm
I don't.
sorry.
Yeah, I one of my friends got married about 5 years ago, and we had this stag do in Bolton. Yeah, and we
Did
made a
you?
trip to Manchester, Deansgate to be precise. But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
sorry for another day. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Welcome. Oh wow, we've got people from Leeds, Sheffield. Fantastic. Please share this live with people. If you have anyone, any young person that you think will have information, will need as much information they need to know about what's happening with the educational climate. Yeah, if you don't know who I am, my name is Hassan. Um, I'm a teacher. I'm also a head of department in my school. I teach business studies and economics, and I run the business studies department in my school. And yes, we, as the head of department, we're having to go through a lot of information, planning a lot of meetings in terms of how we are going to sort out exam grades for the year 11s and the year 13, particularly tonight, for this summer's result. So there's a lot of things that we have to share with you guys today. So please do engage, do share this with as many young people, particularly those in year 11, those in year 10, and those in year 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tammy, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Yeah, so I'm a secondary school teacher as well. I'm a biology specialist, but I also have a couple of other roles in schools. So I'm part of the Year 10 pastoral team at the moment, and also I'm a part of the leadership for PSHE in my school as well. So that's me. Oh,
Great.
and I'm an examiner as well for AQA.
Oh yeah. Okay. So is that just biology or science in general?
So yes, that's for
Yeah.
biology, particularly the combined science in particular.
Okay. So I've been teaching for going. This is my ninth year of teaching. What about yourself? How long have you been teaching now?
I think this is my sixth year. Sixth year. I think it's all blurring into one, but
Wow.
I think it's my number six.
No mistake. But you know what? People, if you're not in the profession, you probably won't.
Yeah,
People they won't understand how
how
long
time
6
goes.
years is, and how time flies. Like when I was
Mm,
thinking about it, and obviously starting this week off, summertime has started. Whoop whoop. Even though we're working from home, I was thinking, wow, that's like the term done, really. Because when it
yes.
gets to summertime, you're winding down. Your year three levels are ready to
Mm,
go, and that's it. Like the year goes so quickly. I'm thinking, oh my God, September was just a few months ago, and all of a sudden we're in April. It goes so quickly. I remember when I did my NQT in 2013, and I'm like, blimey, where's the year gone? Where's the year gone? It's like, wow. So yeah, I think it's interesting. Tell us a little bit about your journey in teaching so far. What have been the highs for you, or any lows that you might have come across in teaching at the moment, so that let's inspire some young people to become teachers. Yeah.
Well,
Giving them the
so
full
the
picture,
thing
obviously.
that I love about my job, and actually is I see as the main purpose in my job, is about the I don't know, just making sure that every young person that I have in my class understand, or has the knowledge or understanding that they can do it. So it's not so
Yeah.
much about um, grades and things like that. Obviously, I have high expectations for my kids, and I will push them to do the best. But one of the things I do is, for example, when we have an assessment or something like that, I won't put any grades on the front when I hand it back. I want to emphasize the fact that it's about progress. So, in terms of my journey, like when I first started teaching, it was really about that, okay, I need a perfect lesson, I need to be the perfect teacher, I need to make sure that I'm ticking all those offset points. But now I think it's really about how can I equip these children to know that they have worth, that they can tackle anything, and
Yeah.
also that they're equipped for the world around them. So that's why I'm interested in PSHE. That's what my master's was based around, based on well-being, because I'm really interested in how school can be used as a platform to support children in other ways, not. But now I think it's really about how can I equip these children to know that they have worth, that they can tackle anything, and
Yeah.
also that they're equipped for the world around them. So that's why I'm interested in PSHE. That's what my master's was based around, based on well-being, because I'm really interested in how school can be used as a platform to support children in other ways, not just in education. So that's sort of my
Yeah.
focus as a teacher.
Nice. Just for everyone joining us, please remember you can ask us questions.
Yeah.
In the promotion that went out, we did ask for people to send questions in. So if you feel like you have a specific education in this current COVID-19 context, if you have any questions, please put in the question box just on the live as well. And please share this with as many people. It doesn't necessarily have to be just people from OFNC. Just share with as many people as possible so that they can come and join in the discussion. This is right about tea time, so people should be getting ready for maybe dinner, either it's pounded jam you're eating, or jollof rice. Give us a wave if you're eating something right now. I've got a little biscuit. Here, and I've got puff in still rising up somewhere in the kitchen. So yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I mean, the conversation today is really just to, really just, debunk some myth, or perhaps just highlight certain information that the government have put out, whilst understanding that, many people might not necessarily be reading the information that the government have been putting out. And they have put out a lot of information. In fact, one of the information they put out, the most one was recently just updated on the 17th, which is just last week. So we just want to use this opportunity to really just, use this opportunity to talk about some of the information that you might have not necessarily, have the privilege to actually read the documentation on. The way we're going to talk about it, we'll talk about a few things from a primary perspective. Now, from the primary perspective, we know that this the year sixes will be having SAT. So we'll discuss a little bit about that in terms of what are the expectations in regards to SATs, etc. And then we'll talk about secondary as well, and talk about some of the what if you're an exam class, for example, if you're in year 11 or if you're in year 13, what has the government said in terms of how you are going to get qualifications today? And if you're in year 10 and you're supposed to be doing early entry as well, there are also guidelines for you in terms of whether or not you can still sit your exam or get a calculated grade. So we'll be discussing a lot more. Please, if there's any other things that you want us to discuss, please let us know. And then please just share the live with as much people as possible. the first question I was going to ask, just I don't want to make this to look like an interview, so please tell me just.
Right. Don't worry.
I was just going to say, how did you feel? What was your sorry, my heart. I don't want to display my non, barber visitation self right now.
It's all right. Everyone's struggling.
So my heart, I just need to make sure I'm adjusting so that, because if I release what's there, it might not be good for viewers. But anyway, what was your first instinct? And I'll tell you mine as well. But what was your first instinct when on March 20th, when the government announced and say school is gonna be closed, there's not gonna be exam? What was your first instinct? And those of you that are listening to us, please let us know what your instinct. What was it that came to your mind immediately? The government said no school. School is gonna close, no exams. What was it that came to your mind? What was it that you felt like, oh my God, what's gonna happen to? What were the things that came to your mind?
Well, for me, I think as a school, we'd already been preparing for the event of being closed. So we'd already started to get together what kind of online platform we were going to use, maybe even started to compile resources. So that wasn't too much of a shock. We thought it was coming. For me personally, and I need to talk for myself, not for my school as a whole, but I was really shocked actually about not having exams. Like that was new information to me, and it was a real, like, you had to really realign your mind in terms of the focus that we'd had on our GCSE students, on A-level students. I really felt for them, because you've been working towards something for 5 years or for 2 years if you're in year 13. And in some ways it does seem like, okay, my future's hinged on these exams. And we do talk about it a lot in school. So I knew that it was really going to shake a lot of our students. And that was what I was concerned about. But I think while it's obviously not an ideal situation, what I hope that people can take from it in terms of reflection is that we're not defined by our exam grades. And yes, qualifications are great. Yes, school is perfect. Like, I'm not perfect. Obviously, it's not perfect. Education is great. It really opens up the world to you. I'm not downgrading that in any way. But I think it will cause a lot of people to think about, okay, where is my worth coming from, actually? And for a lot of young people, I know from me when I was that age, it was like, what are my grades going to be like? Like, how good am I? And actually, it goes beyond that. Our worth is always in God. And that's something that hopefully can be pulled out of this. But yeah, it was a shock. It was a shock, and I felt for exam kids.
We've got someone in the comment. I really echo everything you said. I'm going to talk about mine in a second. We've got someone in the comment that said relief, uncertainty removed, the clarity was welcome, which I think that's probably one of the things that it was. I think we're just threading through a very interesting period at that time. It was like, what's going to happen? You never know. I think what I expected was school to close, because like you said, we were preparing for that as well. My school. We made resources for 6 weeks. So we like resources for year 9, because my subject is business studies, so we only start at year 9. So year 9, year 10, year 9, year 10, and year 12. And we were preparing exam packs for our year 13. And I remembered, and this is me, I remembered I had prepared one of the best exam packs I've made in my life, because I said, regardless whether these kids are staying at home, I am going to make sure that they are well prepared. So I was expecting school to close. I wasn't expecting them to cancel exams. That's when it got to me. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Then I thought, I was like, oh my God, I've been schooling in the UK since 2001. There's never been a year that they've never had exam. What is going to happen? I was shocked. As in, closing the school, I knew that was going to happen, but not having exams, I was like, what? Like, how is that going to happen? What? And then obviously all the questions started coming. Where are they going to get the grades from? And I'm thinking, and you know what? The interesting part was I had actually planned to do another mock exam with my year 11.
So did I.
The week before the lockdown, I had a walking, talking mock exam. And then the week, and I was like, okay, they did that. I think that was the second week of March. And they said at the end of March, we're going to give them a exam paper. And I was like, yeah, that will give me the good indication that this is where they're at. They're ready. This is what we need to do. But that pack I created, I still have it now. I'm looking at it and I'm like, huh,
keep it for next year.
That's the beauty of it. Like, everything we do. But yeah, it was very interesting. It was just very like, oh my God, like what's going to happen? But you know what? It's welcoming, because at the end of the day, I think I was saying to my colleagues today, like, listen, if anyone deserves a rest from any period, I think teachers do. And one of the reasons I said that was all the key workers that are working right now were made by teachers, or the nurses, or the doctors. They all came through teachers. So if anyone deserves to be resting, teachers deserve to be resting. But that's what we're not actually resting, because I'm working, because I'm having meetings with my colleagues. I'm still working. I'm still working, show my homework. So we're still doing a lot of work. Anyway, but yeah, it was welcomed amidst of what's happening, and we send our utmost sympathy to those who've lost families. And we just continue to encourage those who are still ill to just keep the faith and keep fighting the virus. And we just pray that we're just asking everyone to protect the NHS, stay at home, stay safe, and and just give a massive shout out to NHS. If you feel the NHS are doing some amazing job, please put some blue rainbow flags on there for the NHS. Let's just give a shout out to the NHS for the fantastic work they're doing. I know I'm married into a family of doctors, and they've done fantastic work being in the front line. So if you're watching us and you appreciate the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare assistant, all those frontliners, those that are working in the grocery market, just give us a wave, give us something, just give something, just to give a shout out to those that are working exceptionally well to ensure that we are able to continue to live life almost like normal, except not going out. Anyway, let's get started. I think we wanted to start with the primary. Let's just go with primary at the moment. I think with the primary, unfortunately, we don't have as much experience with the primary, but I've spoken to some primary teachers and talk about how they're dealing with a lot of stuff. I've got nieces and nephews as well who are in primary school, and I've been able to speak to them in terms of what they're doing. And I think, again, it's very similar to what the secondary school are doing. They are setting works on platforms to allow people to kids to be doing work. And then what then comes from that is the fact that homeschooling becomes a thing. Now, homeschooling has always been around. There's a lot of people that have been homeschooling for time, and people don't realize there are students that they're homeschooled. So homeschooling is not a new thing, but for majority of us, it is. It's a new experience. It's like, what do I do with these kids? I remember telling my students when we were having the assembly, I'm telling them, you guys are going, I'm like, right, all those craziness you do to me, go and do it to your mom and dad. Go and do it to them. Go and do it to them. But jokes aside, I think what we see is with homeschooling, there are things that should be done to prepare. And I think one of the most important one for me in terms of if you're homeschooling with primary school, you want to make sure they have structure. And I always say, I've said to a few parents that I've spoken to, I said, listen, remember, these kids go to school and they find what they have in school is structure. How do we know this? They have a timetable. The timetable gives them exactly what's going to happen at a particular time. From Monday to Friday, whilst they're at home, they need similar structure. And if possible, do not alter the structure, because we don't alter that structure in school. We don't. The structure is very important. So it could be wherever it is, maybe the day for them starts at 9 o'clock. Make sure their day starts at 9 o'clock. So maybe by 8 o'clock, they're awake, they're bathed, and they're ready to do school normally. And what you will find is that teachers, and I'm saying this from experience, teachers will have set certain amount of work for them to do for the week or maybe for the day, and they just need to go on and pick whatever subjects they need to do. Again, that structure is very important. However, with structure, you need to make sure you're giving them rest. For example, in school, they get break time and they also get lunch time. So you need to incorporate that with them as well. They can have a break time where they could just kind of have a chill out, maybe just have a little walk around the house, etc. and then they could just kind of feel relaxed a little bit, do something out of the dictionary. So make sure they have rest. They've got rest time, they've got break time incorporated. Let them have lunch time as normal as well. And another good thing for them to do, particularly if you're gonna if parents are gonna allow their kids to do things other than just doing the schoolwork during the daytime, you could give them a to-do list. Sometimes, and this is good preparation for the future. You can have a to-do list for them in terms of, all right, this is what you're going to do. So once you've done your schoolwork, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do that. I think what a lot of kids would not appreciate in this particular time is parents just springing up things on them. Let them know exactly what's going to happen. Even kids in school, when they're going to do anything outside of the lesson time, they are informed previously before that happens. So it's always nice to just let them know exactly what you want them to do. If it's okay, you're going to wash rice for me at a particular time, or you're going to go and buy something for me at a, you need to make sure that the kids actually inform. Just help and try to make sure they're eating very well. Especially the fact that they're growing. And the thing, one thing I realized, sorry, say that again.
Making sure that it's as balanced as possible.
Absolutely. And I think what tends to happen with being at home is the temptation to want to eat as much as possible. And I know again, a lot of parents I've spoken to, they've said, listen, the kids are eating my food, they're finishing my food at home. Well, they finish our school food in school as well, and you pay for that. So technically, you just have to kind of reverse that back and say, okay, that money they're spending in school, they should spend it at home. So just make that budget in that way. But try to make sure they don't eat too much, and when they eat a balanced diet. So try and make a structured 3-day meal. However, you can have them to have some snacks in between as well. Exercise is very, very important. In fact, I would say they should start their day with exercise. They need to make sure they're exercising, they're getting us to keep themselves active. The best person at the moment is PE with Joe Wicks. He is amazing. I do PE with Joe Wicks every morning. I've followed him for the last 5 weeks. I do it with him. In fact, I do it with my niece and nephew. So I call them in the morning, or they call me at 9 a.m. and we do it together. And we literally just there. And I'm there sweating. They're doing theirs. I'm sweating. I'm the only one sweating because I'm the only one doing it. But it's okay. They're getting active. And that's very, very important for them to be exercising as well. And parents as well, I would say this is the best time to find out what your kids enjoy.
Yes.
It is the best time to find. So talk to your kids. Ask them, what exactly do they enjoy? Now, this is where you find out whether some of them like talking, some of them like reading, and some of them like writing. Now, particularly for primary kids, those are the kind of key things that they're looked at in terms of development. They're writing, they're talking, and they're reading. Those are the things that you need to make sure you're trying to find out whether or not they're doing properly. So again, it's just about talking to them. Just talk them through maybe some of the activities that they need to do, and just talk them in general about what's happening at the moment. Talk about the last time we had a pandemic. Even though you are not alive, you might not be alive at that time, but talk to them about it. Get them having conversation with you, and also just read with them. Read with them. Get them reading some of the news articles that comes out. Tell them reading whatever book that they have. This is time for them to find out, actually, what kind of books do I like? What kind of books do I like to read? What kind of genre do I like to read? This is the time for them to learn those kind of things. And if you know that, then you can just tailor their future around that as well. And obviously writing. This is better. Get them to write letters to you. My mom did that to me. She made me write letters to her at the end of the month, just to tell me about how my month has been. And
or even, sorry to interrupt you, even to any family members, so you can actually post it to them. So I know one of my colleagues, actually, she's got her kids to write letters to their grandparents, actually. And even though you can still video call them, that has been a really great way that they can keep in contact with their grandparents, and they like physically receiving a letter. Though obviously you have to be careful about, leaving your post by the door and all of that good stuff. But that's something else that's practical that can be done. What I would like to just input at this point is, obviously, if you are working from home and you've got your kids at home as well, like this is, no one's ever been in this, it's best to do that. So it might be a modified assessment, but on the whole, they're still doing a similar process to GCSEs and A-levels, where they're looking at how have you been doing? Realistically, what level would you have achieved? So yeah, so that's what your teachers are doing at the moment. There is a chance to appeal, there is a chance to do exams in the academic year or next summer. In the meantime, please be looking ahead to what you want to do in September. Have a look at any information about A-levels, have a look at information about your university course, but also take the opportunity to learn something new, you know, learn something new. Please still have a routine. Don't slob out. Still get up, still get dressed, still do some exercise. That's really important for having a productive and, I don't know, a day where you just feel better about yourself. And in everything, God has still got your future.
Yeah.
So please trust in Him. Please still use the time to talk to Him about your future, talk to Him about your plans, talk to Him about your dreams. We've got nothing but time at the moment. So, so yeah, that's what I will encourage all you year 11s and year 13s with.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That was really, 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 really detailed. In fact, you covered everything. Let's end it now. But no, I think let me just, because obviously as a head of business studies, I also run massive BTech vocational business in my school, and it's probably the one that's given me the most headache, and in fact it's probably the one that's given me more emails from parents, because a lot of parents are a bit concerned. Now, if I just wanted to put this out to you guys, if you find yourself that you have not completed work that has been given to you, and if you're year 11 and year 13, you're doing a BTech course, if you have not completed some work that was given to you before the lockdown was announced, I would advise you to do that. The reason why I say that is the only time you're not allowed to do, the only thing teachers are not allowed to do is give you a work after the lockdown. Any work prior to the lockdown is still subject to completion, and you should finish those work. Finish those work, because those work will still form basis of evidence for your final grade. That's what I would say to you. But no teacher should set you any new work, or they should set you any coursework or any work to say, oh, this was evident. The government guidelines said they're not allowed to do that. Everything we're going to be using to decide grades will be things from what we've seen in the past. Yeah. So the instruction to my BTech students is every work that I've set you, any deadline I've set you prior to the lockdown still needs to be done, still needs to be submitted. Anything after that, I'm not allowed to set you any work. So please bear that in mind. But I think that's that covered in terms of the exam classes. Now, in terms of GCSE non-exam classes, so we're talking about the year 7s, year 8, year 9, year 10, year 12.
Year 12.
Let me say to you now, you are not on holiday.
Yes, you are not. Do your work.
Even as a teacher, I'm tempted to think I'm on holiday, but I have to remind myself I am not on holiday. Listen, I'm sitting in my workspace right now, and usually by 10 o'clock I'm here. I've had meetings with my colleagues. I've had meetings with my with my team. I've had meetings with other colleagues in the department. I've got meetings scheduled this week. Things are still going on as normal. I'm setting work. I'm looking at work that's been set. I'm preparing resources for next year. Things. So please, if you're on year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, and year 12, you are not on holiday. Think about it like this. Every work that you've missed between the March 20th and July, you have to catch up on it. You have to. Let me give you an example. My year 11s, my year 10s were supposed to finish 5 out of 6 units by the end of year 10. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, we finished 4.5. So that means 2.5 modules will need to be 1.5 modules. 1.5 modules will need to be done in year 11. So that means you have less time. We have less time, and that might be the situation for a lot of other courses as well. We have lost a lot of time. What is difficult, especially if you are in a school like mine that doesn't have the remote access to teach remotely, we are just setting work. We're not teaching remotely. If you don't have that study, that means it's hard for you to teach anything new. So it's important, first of all, that make sure any work that your teacher is setting you week by week, day by day, you need to do it. And remember that you're not on holiday. You can be working ahead as well. Start like look at your exam specification, your subject specification. Whichever exam body is AQA, Edexcel, OCHAL, check them out. Think about some of the works that you need to do, and just go and do and start reading up and revising. And I'm taking your own notes on them. Get the textbooks. The money you're saving from lunch, the money you're saving from not having to take public transport whatsoever, use it to go and buy a textbook. Use it to go and buy a textbook, and make sure that you are doing something and you're preparing yourself. Because when it comes to September, whenever school opens again, especially if you're in year 10, we don't know what that looks like right now. We don't know what September is going to look like. So you need to make sure that when it comes to September, you are in optimum position to continue to go. Remember, your friends that you might be playing FIFA with, or you might be playing Call of Duty, Warzone. I know those games. I know those of you that are looking at it, I know those games, yeah, or Fortnite with. Remember that they might actually be doing work. Remember that you cannot guarantee that because they're playing FIFA with you right now means they're not doing anything. You need to cover your back as an individual. Cover yourself. Cover yourself and make sure you are looking at work for that you should have completed if you were in. I give my students something called the PLC. It's called a personal learning checklist. And it gives them the whole topic that they're going to cover with me in an academic year. So in year 9, this is all you're going to do. Wherever you stopped, make sure you continue in those personal checks. If you don't have one, ask your teacher, email your teacher, or just go onto the website, your exam board website for your subject, pick out the specification, pick out the topics, and then just grab information there. So please, particularly if you're in year 10, year 12, you cannot afford to relax, yeah, because we don't know what this is going to look like for you in year 10, in the year coming for you. So please, make sure you're not relaxing. Make sure you're doing all the work that I said, preparing yourself, fully ensuring you are in a position to go and do well in your course. Also, but that said, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't play games. I'm not saying don't have fun. Please do. Please do. However, don't treat this as holiday. I'm just gonna go for. I think we've got some few comments which I go.
Well, before we go to those questions,
yes.
I'd just like to mention all that we've been saying. I know it sounds a lot. We just want the best for you all. We want to make sure that when things go back to normal in September, you're as prepared as possible, and then you've made the best use of this time. Obviously, if you have been ill or a family member has been ill, or there's uncertainty because of economic circumstances, I know that not everyone's in the same boat, not everyone's, necessarily as well at home. Like, we're not saying that, put yourself into pressure. We understand this is a really difficult situation for a lot of people, and it's different for everyone. So please don't feel under any undue pressure, but it is really useful. It will be useful for you in the coming weeks when we start again in September, if you have acted like you were at school, because it'll just benefit you. Yeah. That's what I encourage my kids with, and that's what I'm encouraging my pupils with. Like, I still have my expectations. Like, by all means, be well, stay safe, but please continue. Like, go on, Hassan.
Yeah. I think someone just said, actually, this is actually very important. Now, in terms of AS exams, so those of you that are in year 12, normally you have AS internal exams, like a mock exam, that will help you decide whether or not you progress into year 13. Now, I don't know how this works for other schools. I'm not sure what that looks like, but have in mind that you might still be needed to do that AS exam, the internal exam, wherever it is. So that, because the AS exam are there to help us understand whether or not this person should, in some cases, progress to the second year. However, that said, the new guideline for A level is a 2-year course. So 2-year course. So there's no break in between. You can either choose to do AS or do A level. If you're doing the A level, then you don't have to worry too much. However, bear in mind you might still have some exams to do. So maybe the mock exam you didn't do in June or July this year, you might have to do in September or November, when the school opens again. But again, don't quote me on that. This is all. You just ask your teachers about this. Let them find out as much information in regards to, are we going to have an exam? Because I've been preparing my year 12s. Luckily, we finished the syllabus, but I've been preparing them for an exam in June. However, obviously that will not take place now. But who's to say that I'm not going to set an exam when they come back? So I'm still setting them up for them to consolidate, for them to do some exam practice, build up their skill, the exam skills, their written skills, to ensure that when it's time for an exam, I can still assess and make sure that I have a good grade for them, and good oversight of where they're at and how to better prepare them. Now, let me just say this. Now, I think one of the things that this COVID-19 have taught me with this situation is, listen, those of you that do not take mock exams or classwork seriously, let me tell you now, from today onward, you need to do that. Now, I know I will have students that they might have flopped their mock exam, their class test, etc. But I know that they will go into the exam and they will do extremely well. The problem that I have now, the dilemma I have now is I can't give you a grade that I cannot evidence. So guys, my final advice for you guys is year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11, whenever you're giving a test, if your teacher say you're going to have a test, if your teacher say you're going to have a class test, if it's a mock exam, please take them seriously. You know, the students that have not done that this year are probably the one that might be appealing their grades, and they will maybe have to do an exam in the autumn term. Now, I know some students, and I know some students I can say that, I know this child is going to get a 7. Now, the question you want to ask yourself is, does my teacher have that confidence in me? Do they have confidence I'm going to get 7? Do they have confidence I'm going to get 6? Right? Or do they have confidence I'm going to get 2? So you need to make sure that wherever there's a test and exam, take them seriously. Do you have any final thoughts to add, Temi?
Yes. So just to reiterate, in terms of if you're in year 12, and we were just talking about internal exams, if you think that you might have an internal assessment, please get in contact with your teachers. If you were due to sit the AS exam externally, as in to get a grade for AS, so not A level for AS, obviously those external exams have been cancelled. So just be careful with that. When we were talking about the AS exams before, we meant any internal exams that your school might do. So yes, my encouragement to everyone is still get up, still get dressed, still wash yourself, still do some exercise, have some kind of structure in your day. I would encourage year 11 and year 13 students, please don't despair. Please know that your teachers will be working to give you the best grade, the fairest grade that they can. If there is still a chance to do the exam again, or do the exam in autumn term next summer, I would encourage you would have been exam classes to use this time as an opportunity and spend more time with God, learn something new, plan for the future, but know that God's got your future in hand, and just put your trust in him and it'll work out. And for you guys that are still in school, do the work your teacher sets you. That's all I'm begging you. Do it.
Yeah. Thanks so much. I mean, it's been nice. It's been lovely to unwrap some of this. We don't have any questions.
Let
me just make sure that I'm just checking everything. Actually, you've got some stuff here. Okay, so we just got some more suggestions from people here. Workout exercises. You brush your teeth, you have breakfast, then workout. Read the Bible using daily devotion. Let me just see if we've got anything. Okay. Yeah, we have Auntie Titi, who is also a very prominent member of the OFNC, have sent some resources, which is called Home Learning Resources from school, Emmanuel Community School. So if you go to www.emmanuel.communityschool, one word, emmanuelcommunityschool.co.uk. Again, www.emmanuelcommunityschool.co.uk. You can go there and check as much resources. I believe it's a primary school, but there will be resources there that you can check. You can use on the workbooks. You might need a printer for them. Some of them you don't need printers for as well. And yeah, just again, apart from that, there's so many. The internet is such an amazing place. Like YouTube, use YouTube, guys. Use YouTube. There are teachers on YouTube. Because I teach economics, and because economics is actually my background. There's a guy called Econ Down Plus that I listen to. In terms of, okay, let me look at how this guy breaks down some of these topics so I know how to digest it and make sure that it's accessible to my kids as well. So use the YouTube. There are loads of teachers on YouTube. Bear in mind that YouTubers need money. So go and give them views. Give them the views so they can make money from Google and, and pay bills. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Tammy. Thank me as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been quite fun. I've enjoyed it. And yeah, if you have more questions with regards to this particular topic in terms of COVID-19 and education in this current circumstances, please get in touch with us, and we'll be more than happy to share whatever information we can with you. Again, thank you, Tammy. Again, thank you everyone that locked in, and we'll be sharing this video as well to everyone so that you can watch and find out more information. But again, please continue to keep yourself safe, continue to appreciate the key workers, and please just continue to work hard, keep yourself busy, keep yourself active, keep yourself engaged, and have a lovely week. And again, thank you, Tammy. Have a lovely week to yourself. And I know you're busy. I'm busy. We're all busy. But yeah, and again, for everyone listening, please keep a lookout for all the activities, the challenges that's taking place. We are we are OFNCU. We're still going. Tomorrow we have another Easter live with Evangelist Francis Sani. We're going to be talking a bit more on leadership, but we're focusing more on counterculture this time around. So please stay tuned for that particular live as well. And yes, please check the page, check all the challenges, and yeah, stay safe, stay cool, protect the NHS. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.